Morning, everybody. Cover the first slide, please, Anna. My name is Neil Kermode. I'm the Managing Director of EMEC, and I'm the Project Director for the ReFLEX project. I'm going to very briefly try and tell you something in the remaining 300 seconds or so about what's going on in Orkney, but in effect, the ReFLEX demonstrator is looking to join together heat, transport and power and underpin it with a digital platform, which enables our energy system to become smart. Why are we doing it in Orkney? This is the picture showing the energy picture in August 2019. Green line is renewables for the UK. The grey line is electricity supply and demand. And one of our members simply multiplied the bottom section by 4, which gives us the next slide, which shows what happens if you put 4 times as much renewables in exactly the same format as we've got at the moment onto the UK national grid. And if you take the next slide, this is what Orkney looks like today. So the point is we've got something of a future energy system already running in many respects, and we felt that there was an opportunity to learn more from it. If we have the next slide, please. One of the most important things that we found that was needed was to build on our understanding of what's happening. In the past, we had an energy audit done by another of our members, Aquaterra, and they produced an energy audit. We refreshed that as part of the ReFLEX project. If you click on, please, which shows the energy system as we see it now in Orkney. The key point for this is, and the lesson for all local authorities is, you have to understand your conditions. If you notice quite closely here that our heat and light is comparatively small compared with our transport. So transport is really big for us in an island community, and I'll come back to that point in a moment, because it's really important that you solve the problem you have, not just a problem you think you have. And understanding that is critically important. Now, the tools that have been developed as part of the energy auditing process has shown up a number of things, not least the fact that the sharing of information amongst the community is not straightforward, and getting getting data agreements between the various parties is critical, and hopefully that will be one of the tools in the kit. If we go to the next slide, really to say that our community, like all communities, involves the 3 different sectors, and each of those will have different funding requirements. Each of those will have different funding routes and tools, and it's really important that we don't simply assume that one size will fit all. We found that the funding provided through the catapult, the UKRI, was fundamentally important to unlock a lot of activity, because this had been talked about for a lot of years, and actually this project allowed that to move. And there are definitely some lessons to be learned in the act of getting on with things, which then brings people and investors along. If you could just click once, please, because one of the advantages we had is we have had the Orkney Renewable Energy Forum in place for 20 years in Orkney, which means that each of those 3 sectors continuously communicates with the others. And so having the tool to allow those people to have that forum, to have those discussions, to get to know each other, to understand each other's strengths, was fundamental to getting this project away. And we think that will be fundamental to the deployment of these systems in other locations at a later date. And the last lesson I really wanted to explain to people is that a key part of the ReFLEX project is that of replication. And one of the key items is to recognize that we are all different, but we are groups. So for example, our situation in Orkney is very different to, say, Leo or indeed London, but it's not different to other island communities both around the UK but also around the world. And so understanding the applicability of what one does is really, really important, because it allows you to reach out to other communities. And one of the tools that we really need is to make sure that we can both identify the commonalities between different groups and different communities, and then reach out to them to find those people who have been before and those people who are following. And certainly we've got a lot of lessons that we think we've learned that will actually allow replication to happen. So the final slide is actually really just an appeal to say, please do reach out to us. This is our attempt at doing Charlie's Angels, by the way. It was a funny day. Don't ask me about it. But we really do believe that we have got lessons that will be valuable to other people, and we really look forward to finding ways in which the toolkit can actually help make that happen.